Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead. Today I have a food pantry haul for you. This is our county-run food pantry. They allow you to come in twice a month. One of the days is a set day that is the same day every month, and it is more of the government subsidized things. I think they call it Commodities Day. And it is set items. You get what you get. You push a cart through and they put a certain number of things in your cart, and you get it and you leave. There's no choice on that one. The other day, you get to pick what day of the month you come in, and on the days that they're open, obviously. And then you get to shop. So, like, if there's a section of breads, you get to pick so many bread items. If there's a section of like breakfast cereals and breakfast items, you get to pick one item off of it, like 4 canned vegetables, just different things like that. So you get to choose what items you select, which is awesome because then you can pick the things that you know your family will use. So if your family does not like canned corn, don't pick canned corn, that kind of thing. So if you know that your family absolutely loves canned green beans, then pick canned green beans. So today was that day, the day that we got to choose when to come in and shop. And as you can see, based on just this first load of stuff on the counter, we got some amazing produce this time. Sometimes it's hit and miss on how much produce they have. This time they had a huge rack, and it was take as much as you want because they had so much. So let's jump in and see what we were blessed with today. First, we got to pick a dessert item, and she said that she's not sure what these are because she had like 5 trays of these and they weren't labeled. She said the original box got thrown away. She said she thinks they're peach, which to me looks about right. They're some kind of Danish type thing, and there's just one layer of them. But these were already frozen, so I'm just gonna throw these right back in the freezer. Probably repackage them into something smaller than this. And then my kids can use these for breakfasts, where they will just pull out one and warm it up in the microwave or the toaster oven. They usually do something like a fried egg or a frozen sausage patty, a spoonful of peanut butter, something like that, and then some kind of fruit. And that way everybody, let's see here, my 2 youngest don't make their own. They need help making their own, but everybody else can make their own breakfast, which is nice. It allows me to kind of relax in the morning. They also had a bunch of donuts, and so she just gave me a couple random packages of donuts as well. And then we got to pick out 2 bread items. So I saw this and they had a bunch of it, and she said nobody else was going to take it. I will pass this on to a friend of mine who has to eat gluten-free. But I thought this looked like something interesting and different. Light white rice loaf. So yeah. And then I did these, and I will either make sub sandwiches like it says, and I'll like bake them so they're warm, or you can slice them open like this and lay them open and make mini pizzas. So like pizza boat type things. So that is helpful for me on not having to make pizza crust because we do pizza every Friday night. So then by way of produce, broccoli was one of the options on the frozen foods table. It was that or frozen peas or some frozen cookie dough. So I chose broccoli because that's super helpful and handy to have broccoli already cut up and ready to go. The produce table that we could pick as much as we want on, they had a bunch of lettuce, and so I picked these. Some of the lettuce was looking pretty nasty, and I did not feel up to picking through all of it. These seemed to be the nicest looking of everything, so I went with those. This was actually out on a table out front where they have items that are take as much as you want situation. And they didn't have a whole lot out there, but they had this big box of bananas. And I first just picked up a couple of bunches, like these 2 right here on the top I had picked out. And she stuck her head out the door and she goes, "If you want that whole box, please take it." Because we were kind of coming through toward the end of when they were going to be open. And she's like, "Just go ahead and take the entire box." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I will peel these break each banana into 2 pieces and lay them on a cookie sheet and freeze them until they are frozen solid. And then I will put them in a bag. And the nice reason why doing that is then they don't stick together. So you can pull out a half of a banana for a smoothie, or you can pull out 5 chunks to make banana bread, or whatever you need to do with it. Then they're not all just like one frozen blob of bananas. There are 2 things of organic blackberries, and these are definitely looking a little worse for the wear. So I will get these picked through, and I will probably give them all of them to my kids for lunch today, or I can always freeze them if I need to, but I know my kids will eat both of those without any complaints. These looked interesting. I have gotten something like this in the past, I think, and what I did is I just threw the teriyaki sauce packet away because it's usually pretty high in sugar, and then I just used it as a stir fry, or like spread it out on a cookie sheet and bake it with smoked sausage or something like that. So that's probably what I'll end up using that for. They had bags of lemons, and fresh lemon sounded delicious right now. I don't know why. And then they had these 3 different kinds of like snack pack thingies. So these looked interesting, that I know my little ones will love these. Apples, little graham cracker cookies, fruit gummies, and cheese. These I will probably open and do for lunches and just spread them out between all the kids, and then they've got their ranch dip. And then this is apples, cheese, and pretzels. And they're cute little mini pretzels too. So those will disappear rather quickly, I'm sure. So, all right, that is round 1. I'm going to put this stuff away, and then I will be back with round 2. All right, back with round 2. We, because we're a larger family, she had some large pieces of meat. She had a 10-pound roll of ground beef, a whole turkey, and then she had this 10-pound package of boneless chicken tenders, which I did not realize they were chicken tenders. I thought they were just chicken breasts, so I'm actually very not upset about that. I kind of think I will more than likely thaw this whole thing out and then can it, because I can like the chicken tenders whole. They would fit down in the jar really well, and then I would have canned chicken for shelf stable, not taking up freezer space, and I have a bunch of uses for that. So I was very excited to get that. This is some kind of fish, sway, I'm not sure. I have some kids that like fish and some kids that don't. So I will, like combine these 2 or something. I don't know. These sounded interesting. Some ricotta lemon basil ravioli. So my kids like ravioli, so we'll do something with that at some point. 2 packages of this ham, which was the mobile food pantry that I filmed last week. We got some of this, and it's the same volunteers that run the mobile food pantry that do this food pantry. And so anytime that they have leftover things from the mobile food pantry, they drop them off or they bring them to the county food pantry and pass them out there. So obviously they had some ham left, so I was fine with that. Canned goods wise, they have a miscellaneous shelf, everything from spaghetti sauce to canned meats to trying to think of some of the other things that are on that shelf, and now my brain, like sloppy joe mix, those kind of things. So I got 2 of the big things of chicken. They have limits on the small cans, so I only got 1 of those, and then 1 thing of tuna. Some mandarin oranges as our fruit choice. We got to pick 4 vegetables. So I did 3 cans of peas because my family really likes peas. And then they had a number 10 can. When you have a larger family, they have a top shelf that has some larger containers of things on it. So like bigger, like literally bigger containers of stuff. And they had this. And my intent is that our church does a pitch-in meal once a month, and I thought, hey, this would be the perfect thing for me to be able to bring, because I can put this in a pan and zhuzh it up a little bit and bring a whole bunch of baked beans. That they have a really hard time getting rid of the number 10 cans because it's so much stuff. Like even for my family, of 7, we would not be able to eat an entire number 10 can of stuff without freezing some of it or doing something else with it. So for us, this is perfect because I can take it to a church pitch-in and yay. I know it'll get used there. We have 2 things of peanut butter because that was on that shelf. We could pick out some snack items. So we did 2 of the Skinny Pop kettle corn. Those are like my weakness right there. And then they still have more of this Hue chocolate. It's a brand of chocolate and yum. It's delicious. And these are the Almond Crunch. And so I have like 2 other boxes of these that we've already busted into. And yeah, I don't mind stockpiling those. Plus, if you get something like chocolate bars, you can chop them up and use them in chocolate chip cookies or in muffins or, you know, whatever else. They're just chocolate. So it works just the same. We got to pick one item off of like breakfast items. So they have cereal, oatmeal, granola, those kind of things. And this may not have been like the best choice because obviously there's some like expensive cereals and those kind of things. But during the winter, my kids really love having baked oatmeal for breakfast. So I don't have any oats in the house right now. So I went ahead and picked that up because that will make a nice big pan of baked oatmeal for my kids. We have some non-food items, so I picked up 2 toothbrushes. They also have like toilet paper. There were some supplements. Sometimes they have cleaning things. They had some razors. I said toilet paper. I'm trying to think some of the other things that they had, but toothbrushes are always useful. They have a baby section that's usually take as much as you want. And so I saw these parsnip, apple, and ginger. We're going to give them a try. My youngest is 3 years old and she still loves these. So we're going to see. I'm not sure whether she's going to like the ginger. If she doesn't like this one, then I just donate the rest of them and it's not the end of the world. Or I have been known to squeeze these out into smoothies and my kids don't realize they're in there. And then you could pick out 1 drink for each member of your household. So we have 7 in our house. So I did 5 of these strawberry. This one sounded interesting. I kind of wish I had seen this before I had picked out some of the other ones because I might have picked up more of those. Cranberry lime. And then I did Topo Chico. It's really yummy. Mineral water. It's not flavored, but they're always like super fizzy. And then out on that table out front, they had these Celsius Heat, and this is something that my husband drinks occasionally, not something we try to make a habit of, but he takes them in his truck with him, and these are both flavors that he likes. He loves mango, so he'll like that one. So that is everything that we got. I am stupendously excited about like 10 pounds of chicken. I mean, come on. And then being able to take that to a church pitch-in and not have to come up with something on the fly. The box of bananas. And then my kids were super excited about that box of pastries. So, you know, they're going to be hitting those tomorrow morning. So, all right. Well, that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you need help, there is a link in my show notes on how to find a food pantry in your area. They are out there. They exist. I know some areas are underserved and some areas like my area are served quite well. I'm sorry if your needs are not being met. That's awful. I'm so sorry. By all means, continue to go to the food pantry even if you're being underserved because that lets them know that the need is there and then maybe they will seek out getting more funding, more grants, those kind of things that sometimes that's what it is that because they have a limited number of people coming, they get a limited number of things from the government, from local resources, that kind of thing. Whereas if they know that they need more help, maybe it would be, you know, a kick in the right direction for them to seek out more funding or whatever. So anyway, go get help if you need it. I'm giving you permission. It's going to be okay. It's going to all work out in the end. Get the help that you need to get over the hump that you're in. That's kind of where we are, is that my husband switched from one career after 14 years and being let go because of COVID stuff to starting a completely new career. And while it's going great, it's going to take an adjustment period and health issues and things that continue to break on my house, you know, home ownership, how that works. So All of that. Anyway, all right, I'm going to go put this stuff up and make some lunch. So, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.